y'all doing? How you doing? Do you know what we're facing right now? Do you know what we're about to get ourselves into? I'm waiting on people to come in and engage that can engage on this conversation. We're talking about World War III. Do you see what America is doing? Boy, they forcing people's hands right now. It's either you choose to be American or you choose to go back to your goddamn country where you from. Who see what's going on right now? America will make people turn on their own people if they really want to be Americans. Ain't it funny how America let these people come over here and get comfortable in America, then turn around and ask them, do you really want to be American? Or we finna go back over here to your country and blow that up. And if you're a real American, you ain't gonna care about what we do over there to that country. Do you know how many people right now from India is gonna have to make a valuable decision? India. Do you know what's going on in India? India. Do you know what's going on in India? Push that like button. India is the I in BRICS. India is the top, they one of the top 5 countries in innovation and technology, but the only one who has the military might to touch Israel and to defend themselves against America. India. Now we acting like we ain't got nothing to do with what's going on with India right now. Donald Trump is pulling a repeat play card that Obama did with Libya and Gaddafi. Do y'all see what's going on? Oh yeah. Are we American? Do we choose the American side? Or do we choose the other side and feel sorry for those people? Push that like button. Do you know what's going on? No. Please come in and engage with me. Ask me an important question. If India fall, what's next? You say it's not India? How you doing? Push that like button. But it's not India. It's Iran. Iran, not India. But after they take Iran out, then they're going to take India out. India said, we ain't got nothing to do with this. Push that like button.
Taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing...
Welcome back. Now, revolution underway in Iran. Massive protests against Ayatollah Khomeini and its brutal regime are persisting in Iran, as Iranian citizens take to the streets over its failed inflation, up 50%. Food prices surging more than 70%. President Trump has warned Khomeini there will be severe consequences if protesters are killed. But the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Iran is threatening to strike U.S. military bases in the Middle East if the U.S. tries to take down the Iranian regime. Here's the president on Friday.
Iran's in big trouble. It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts.
As protesters ramped up on Thursday, the Ayatollah dug in by cutting all internet service and international calls inside the country. The internet has been out for 60 hours so far, with Iranian officials also trying to jam up Elon Musk's Skylink to further isolate the country. As from my next guest, the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi, called on the people to mobilize and take to the streets against the authoritarian government. Demonstrators calling for Pahlavi to return and to lead Iran. Pahlavi's father, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was Shah of Iran from 1941 until 1979, overseeing key modernization initiatives in the country, with close ties to both the United States and to Israel, until the extremists and the terrorists overwhelmed the monarchy, forcing the Shah and his wife, Empress Farah Pahlavi, to flee and the Ayatollah to return from exile. Iran then shifted overnight from a U.S.-allied monarchy to an anti-Western Islamic regime, soon to become the largest state sponsor of terrorism, funding Hezbollah and Hamas, among other groups. President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio posting this weekend on social media that the U.S. stands with the people of Iran, with the president writing the administration when it comes to standing up to the Iranian Ayatollah and his religious Nazi henchmen, and standing behind the people of Iran protesting for a better life. The president retweeted that tweet from Lindsey Graham, who will be joining me momentarily. To the regime leadership, Graham wrote, "Your brutality against the great people of Iran will not go unchallenged." Join me now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive. In the middle of these calls to return to power and free the people is His Royal Highness, the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi. Your Highness, thank you so much for being here this...
Reza Pahlavi ain't never lived in Iran. He was a kid when his mom and dad had to flee from Iran. Now, 45 years, 50 years later, he's going to go back to Iran and reign as a crown prince. Oh, wow. So America's done, they just going to implant an Iranian prince that been raised in America back in Iran Oh my God. Do y'all see what's going on? America was the one who overturned his father and made him leave Iran. Yeah. But
Good morning, Maria.
We have seen other times when the people have risen up, but it feels different this time. You called for the people to mobilize for 2 straight nights this week. Does it feel different? Assess for us what is taking place this weekend in Iran.
Maria, to put it into perspective, in the last 48 hours, Iranians have suffered more casualties than America did after the 9/11 attack. This is a moment that is defining. Despite being completely cut off from the world, internet shutdown, and for a regime that is massacring its own people, this is an opportunity to liberate that nation. Remember, the same thugs that hate America also hate their own people. And this is an opportunity that starts for liberty, that starts to be rejoined with the free world, and to have the same relationship that we had with America before this revolution occurred, to liberate ourselves and come back to the fold and contribute to world peace and stability regionally and beyond.
Now, Your Highness, you have called for the opportunity to become the transitional leader. You've said many times with me on this program, you are hoping to be a transitional leader. What is your plan in that transition? What would the first 100 days look like? Because we know that these protests are economic in nature. They are about food and life and democracy second.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base.
Maria, I'm a fighter pilot. I've trained all my life for exactly this moment, and people are calling on me to step in and lead this transition. I'm here to lead and help our nation go through that transition. But beyond liberation, we have to have a plan for a stable, smooth transition, a plan that, unlike other scenarios we witness in our neighborhood, like the debathification in Iraq, will not lead to chaos. We have to ensure stability. We have to be able to protect the citizenry. We have to be able to stabilize the economy. And for that, we have very comprehensive plans. I'm helping economists, scientists, jurists, and specialists in every field, so we can, in fact, address all of these issues the moment the opportunity comes. More importantly is what we're doing right now. As you can see, people are still fighting despite this crackdown. They hope that there will be assistance in protecting them from further bloodshed. I've called upon further strikes, and that's beginning to unfold. We're beginning to see more and more defections, which is very important as part of the transition. So all of this is at play as we speak.
You have tweeted directly at President Trump, and you have a message for President Trump. What is that message, sir?
Mr. President, you have already established your legacy as a man committed to peace and fighting evil forces. There is a reason why people in Iran are renaming streets after your name. They know that you are totally opposite to Barack Obama or Joe Biden. They know that you're not going to throw them under the bus.
December 13th, 2003, Adar, Iraq, 8 p.m. Total darkness blankets the farmlands along the Tigris River. Special Ops soldiers, Task Force 1, move in complete silence. They are exhausted, on edge. The first 2 target farms were empty. It seems target number 1, the Ace of Spades, has slipped away like a ghost again. Mission Commander Colonel James Hickey checks his watch. Time is running out. But tonight, they have a secret weapon. Not an advanced drone, not a spy satellite, but a terrified prisoner sitting in the back of an armored vehicle. The Fat Man, Mohammed Ibrahim, the head of Saddam's personal bodyguards. The soldiers pull him out. He walks He stops. He looks. And then he kicks the ground with the tip of his boot. A spot that looks nothing like a hideout. Just dirt, garbage, and an old rug. The soldiers pull back the rug. They clear away the dirt. A styrofoam lid appears. The lid is removed. The stench of rot and stale air rushes up from the earth. A black, vertical hole. Weapons are raised. Grenade pins are pulled, ready to fire. But a sound comes from the depths. Two dirty, trembling hands rise from the darkness. A man with a long beard and wild hair struggles to pull himself up. The soldiers freeze. This broken face looks nothing like the dictator on the posters. In English, with a voice that sounds like it comes from the bottom of a well, the man says, "I am Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq, and I am willing to negotiate." Tikrit, Iraq, 9 months earlier. The war is officially over. The statues have fallen. America dominates the battlefield. But in the intelligence war, they are losing. The Pentagon deploys a simple yet ingenious tactic, the deck of cards. 52 high-ranking Ba'athist officials, generals, ministers, politicians. Saddam Hussein is the ace of spades. Thousands of American soldiers patrol the streets with these faces in their pockets. But there is a glaring problem. The hunt, despite all the arrests, has hit a dead end. None of the... Inside a cramped, sweltering interrogation room at Tikrit Airfield sits a man who looks nothing like a war hero. Sergeant Eric Maddox, a low-level interrogator with bloodshot eyes from weeks of sleeplessness. He stares at the organizational chart on the wall, the faces of the high-ranking generals. Maddox steps forward and tears them down. He has a different theory. A dictator on the run doesn't trust his ministers. He only trusts blood. Maddox rewrites the strategy. He starts interrogating the invisible people. Drivers, cooks, gatekeepers, the targets the U.S. Army considered worthless.
If you were sexually abused while in a juvenile detention facility, you may be entitled to $580,000 or more in compensation. Billions of dollars.
Miramar Police Department.
Yeah.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm waiting for my sister to go over there. What happened? What happened?
I just need to speak to you over here for a second.
Oh, Lord.
Right now there's an investigation, and I guess it's your daughter.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Your daughter, her name came up, so we had to keep everybody out of the apartment.
Police arrived at the home of 17-year-old Christy Parisian, where her mother was informed that Christy had become involved in a strange and violent incident. About an hour earlier, officers had discovered the body of an 18-year-old boy named Dwight Grant near a nearby apartment complex, brutally stabbed to death.
Can you guys go back inside for me? Can you go back inside, please? Don't. Just do as I ask, please.
Police have been taken into custody in the murder of 18-year-old Dwight DJ Grant.
After a body was found there, Local 10's Andrew Perez is live
for this 18-year-old from Miramar High School, and instead, officers found a body.
As new clues surfaced and the investigation continued, police uncovered a hidden conflict between Dwight and 3 of his classmates from Miramar High School. Now officers needed to track all 3 of them down as quickly as possible to figure out what had really happened, what each of their roles was, and more importantly, why. But what detectives were about to learn about how this murder happened, why it happened, and just how complicated it truly was, turned out to be far more shocking than anyone expected.
You can't get away with nothing! There's cameras everywhere.
Everything started on a Sunday evening, on October 17th in Broward County, Florida.
How y'all doing? Push that like button. Show me some love.
Open a Chime checking account in 2 minutes and we'll spot you up to $200.
If you've been in a car accident in California, there are a few big mistakes people make in the first days after the crash. They trust the insurance company to take care of it, say they're fine, and never act
drivers who worked for the same company killed on 2 different days in less than a month. 25-year-old Aaron Whitfield was fatally shot inside his truck over the weekend. And tonight we're learning more about his co-worker, 20-year-old David Garcia Morales, also shot and killed inside his tow truck 3 weeks earlier. And Kelly, tonight police say there was a third homicide back in November that might be connected to all of this. The victim, also an employee of that same towing company.
That's right. Tonight, police say they are now looking at 3 homicides that all involve tow truck operators or employees from the same company. They say it's too early to call this a turf war, but that is something they are actively investigating. We know that there is a history in the city when it comes to disputes about towing territory turning violent, despite the fact that there is a city ordinance in place to try to prevent that. Philadelphia police releasing these images tonight of a navy blue Grand Jeep Cherokee they say was last seen on the 2200 block of Adams Avenue back on December 22nd. Notice the broken sunroof and damage to the rear window. Police say it was used in the murder of 20-year-old David Garcia Morales. Around 12:15 that day, he was shot several times while in a white tow truck on the 4200 block of Torresdale Avenue. Today, his mom told Fox 29 over the phone he had so much love for everyone and wanted to help people. She says Garcia Morales died at the hospital the day after Christmas, a hero. His organs went on to save 6 lives. She says the day her son was shot, his friend, 25-year-old Aaron Whitfield, pulled him from his truck to help him before police rushed him to the hospital, and that Whitfield also came to the hospital to see him. 3 weeks later, on Sunday night, Whitfield was fatally shot inside his tow truck near Bustleton and North Streets just before 8 p.m. Surveillance video obtained by Fox 29 shows a gray sedan slow down alongside his tow truck. If you look closely, you can see several flashes of gunfire, then it pulls away. Whitfield's girlfriend was also in the car and shot multiple times. Law enforcement sources say that gray sedan was recovered Tuesday and that Garcia Morales and Whitfield both worked at 448 Towing and Recovery. Today, police announced they're also investigating if these 2 homicides are connected to a third murder back on November 23rd. Police say 26-year-old Aaron Smith Sims was shot inside his white truck, used as a spotter to notify tow truck operators of an accident. Sources say also for 448 Towing and Recovery. He died from his injuries at the hospital on January 4th. Police say they are investigating if and how they are connected.
If you look at what we think some of the motives can be, it could be over territory. For some reason, they believe they have territory in the city, which we all know they do not. One of the shootings may be over a business dispute. What that dispute is right now is still part of the investigation.
According to the city's tow code, the city uses a rotational program. When police are called to a crash, they dispatch the licensed towing company next in line. But it's not uncommon for tow truck drivers to attempt to respond first.
When they call 911, the information is given to our police radio, then it gets on what's called a rotational tow. That tow company is supposed to go to that scene and tow that vehicle.
If you have information on any of these 3 homicides, police ask that you call 215-686-TIPS. Again, we made several attempts to reach the owner of 448 Towing and Recovery today. We will bring you their response once we have it. Reporting outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters, I'm Kelly Rule, Fox 29 News.
What's the youngest you guys think you should date? Age? Like what's at your age now, what's the youngest you would ever date?
5? Generally speaking, I think 18. Why not?
Yeah.
You're joking.
You said the youngest legal. She's legally.
You're joking.
She's legally of age.
Was that for everybody?
18.
Oh no, how old are you?
I said generally speaking.
No.
Age.
He's 40. So
I ain't 40.
He would date.
He's not 40. I ain't 40. But at the end of the day, an 18-year-old is legal.
An 18.
How was
what's
wrong with that?
Did we not see how the Shannon Sharp situation played out?
I mean, he was messing with a slur.
She was 19
that had ulterior motives.
Because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. Like digest that.
Okay, so then what's wrong with it? If you shouldn't date if a man is 30 years old, why shouldn't he date a woman that's 18? Explain. Who want to go first?
From experience, when I was 18, I mean, I was a pharmacy tech, I started talking to the pharmacist who was 30 years old. And looking back, that was super inappropriate. Like, I think that was an overstep on both of our accounts, but more so on his part because I was fresh out of high school. Like, this was a job that I was,
So essentially, you're saying that he took advantage because you were younger?
I'm not saying he took advantage, but I'm saying the maturity level that I was at and the maturity level that he was at are so vast that there's nothing that we should have.
So you think that the maturity level has to be equal between men and...
necessarily all that equal, but closer.
But wouldn't you say that there's 30-year-old men that's immature? So if a 30-year-old man is immature, does this make it okay? Make him, is he qualified to date a 18-year-old?
It's not just that, but as far as them being legal and then actually knowing, like they have to experience life a little bit. I feel like, and that you're right in that aspect.
Oh, well, I can use the same argument.
Are very grown for an 18-year-old and stuff like that, and I get that. But still, I don't.
So here's the thing. You're really not saying anything that's wrong then, because if it's the case, if you're bringing up maturity and experience, well, maturity, a 30-year-old man, he can be immature. Yeah. And if his maturity level can match up with the 18-year-old, but you said that, you still wouldn't accept that man that's 30 dating the 18-year-old. So that excludes maturity. Maturity doesn't make it a qualifier. Right. And even if you're speaking about experience, well, it can be a 30-year-old man that doesn't have a lot of life experience, right? He's just kind of had a coddled life, but he's dating this 18-year-old. But you would still say, well, no, you still wouldn't want that 30-year-old man to date the 18-year-old because it's just not right. So then that excludes experience and maturity. So then what's the reason of why it's...
But what's not right isn't a personal opinion. They say, oh, that's not right. That's not right. Do I know why it's not right? Because that's the way you feel. And nobody give a fuck about your feelings. A man want to feel a certain type of way too. And if a man choose or want to choose a younger woman, as long as she's grown and of age, that's that man's decision and that woman's choice to say yes or no, right or wrong. Do you believe that? How you doing? Push that like button. This the type of conversation I want to get into. People don't want to talk about it. Women, black women, is the only ones that say, oh, an older man don't supposed to talk to a younger woman. Man, bitch, get out of here. I met a lady at Walmart. She was 22 years old. Her mama came around the corner. What you doing trying to talk to my baby? I'm like, hold on, lady. This is not a baby. This is a grown-ass woman. And get what? She done already made an agreement to meet up with me later for my $200. Bitch, I'm finna fuck your daughter, your baby. Finna fuck the shit out your daughter. It ain't shit you gonna say about it. Ain't that right, baby? Yeah, you right, daddy. And she said that to her in her mama's face. Mama, you need to stay out my business. You don't know what kind of business me and this man got going on. Like, and we two grown ass people. How y'all doing? Push that like button. Do y'all agree or disagree with that? Some people can't handle that type of conversation. But in reality and realistic speaking, just imagine a man 40, 50 years old. We're gonna say we're gonna put 50 years old as the prime and common factor number, right? A man 50 years old that's been in a relationship with a woman for 20 years and he finally got out that relationship, he finally got single, he cleared his mind, he got his life back together, he's single again. Women don't only want a man if they're attractive. And the only way a man can be attracting is to be financially secure. Like, a broke-ass man is not attractive. I'm telling y'all niggas right now. If you broke, nigga, you are not attractive. The only reason why men like us are attractive because we have things that the average broke-ass man ain't got. And they start to look at the value of us. Oh, he got a nice car. He got his own crib. He got all the stuff that they wish that a man like you, that they wish they could have. But y'all don't have this type of shit. Y'all don't have y'all shit together. Can anybody agree or disagree? Y'all don't want to talk about that. Okay, we don't want to talk about that. It's okay. There's a lot of things I could be talking about, but I ain't gonna be talking about it. I realized, you know, I'm not getting the respect I deserve on YouTube. And I told myself, it don't take me long to realize I'm not getting the respect I deserve. And if I let 30 minutes go by and I see I'm not getting the respect that I truly deserve, I need to cut this video off and start all over again. What do you think? Yeah, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I don't know what I want to eat, but I know I want to eat something. I don't know what I want to eat, but I know I want to eat something. How you doing? You say you don't want to do me now. You say I'm talking too much shit, Snag. All right. All right, y'all, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna come back in a few minutes and go live again. Hopefully we can get a better engagement next time. God bless y'all. Have a good night.